This edition of Sports Galore is proudly brought to you by Subway. And now, here's your hosts, Mark Allen and Adam Treloar.
Hello and welcome to Sports Galore with Adam Treloar. Now, I'm obviously not Mark Allen. Mark is a very busy man. He can't be with us today.
Big shoes to fill, mate.
Big shoes to fill, and we've gone well into reserve to get me out here today.
No, we haven't.
I'm talking like 3 or 4 deep.
No, we haven't.
Thinking about it before the show, I think I'm the Mason Cox of podcasts.
What's that?
Completely foreign to him. Got no idea what I'm doing.
Mate.
And now
Just be confident, mate. What do you think I am? I'm the same. You know what I think you should do? Just have something in your hand, play around with a pen, then you'll be fine.
All right, let's get stuck into it then. Let's talk a bit of footy first of all to start us off.
Yep.
Anzac Day on the weekend, you played in front of 85,000 people. Was that the biggest crowd you've ever played in front of?
I think it was, yes. How many... Wait, the Richmond game, was that 90,000?
It'd be pretty close. I know you've had two big ones.
Yeah, it was either one, that or the Richmond game, because we never had that at the Giants. I was saying to one of the guys coming out, as we're walking out to warm up, that there would have been more in the first warm up than what there would have been for me in a home game at the Giants. So it's just massive.
And it's such a big stage, isn't it? Like playing on Anzac Day, nothing must compare to that. How was it?
Mate, it was amazing. You talk about spine tingling and just all the emotions that come out. I mean, when I was sitting there, and when I was standing there, not sitting there, that would have been awkward if I was sitting there, but when I was standing there and the national anthem come on and everything that happened, it was just an amazing feeling, and I just felt truly blessed and humbled to be in that position that I was in, and then as soon as the anthem was done and then the crowd roared, mate, it was just so inspiring, and yeah, to be out there and to play the way we played was just absolutely amazing, and kick 9 goals to 1 in the first quarter was something we could hold our heads high for.
Now, we don't see you angry in the studio. Hopefully we won't today.
No.
You've had to open up the wallet this week. Talk to
Yes,
us about
I have.
what's happened there.
Oh, well, Bucks gave us a bit of a spiel about, Anzac spirit and being there for your teammates and sticking up for them if there might be a skirmish here or there. And Levi obviously did a really good job on Zarakis and was tagging him, and I think he tackled him a little bit too high, which was fair, but then a couple of Bombers players come in. So me being me, I come in and help Levi out, and freaking Levi gets me the fine. So I was talking to Adam Oxley before, and Ox says he's seen us wrestling. There was myself and Levi and a couple of other Bombers guys, and Ox runs past and goes, "Oh, I might get in there." And then he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, no. Not getting a fine, So he runs off and tries to toast the ball. So thanks, Ox, mate. So half of that's going to him, but I'll pay the other half. So
who's stingy around here? Who doesn't know?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone's stingy. No, but from what I've heard, good news that I hope the players that are going to, all the players that played on the weekend in the ones are going to jump into their wallets and give me a little bit. So hopefully I don't have to pay for it all. That's what I'm saying. That's official now. So hopefully they're listening to this and they say that's exactly what's happening, because I was sticking up for my teammate.
That's the definition of side by
Exactly.
side. How good is that? Now you need that money because you've made a purchase, a little piece of jewellery.
Yeah.
You're not even going to get to wear it. Talk us through what happened before Anzac Day during the week at home.
Well, my beautiful partner Kelsey.
Oh, here we go.
Kelsey Tompkins. Follow her on Instagram. I don't know what her hashtag is, but just type in Kelsey Tompkins. I've been thinking about it for a while, proposing to her. I've been with her for 7 years now. We met back when I was a 15-year-old, and I was 16. She was 15.
Yep.
Anyway, long story short, come Friday, sent flowers to her work, nice and romantic, being the good boyfriend, then took her out for dinner. Went to a nice restaurant on the Point. It was called the Point by the Albert Park Lake. Yep. Went there and. I think she was a little bit suspicious, like, what's going on here? You never really like this, Adam. Like, you never really spoil me, which is
you're never nice to me
because I do spoil her. But anyway, I took her to dinner, and I'd organised for when I got home that I'd set everything up for candles and rose petals leading out into the lounge room where I'll be there with my dogs, because they're basically our kids. Kelsey loves my dogs, Griffin my husky and Luna my Groodle. And while I was out for dinner, my mate at the time, I said, you have to do this right. So what he had to do was basically light all the 50 candles leading into the hallway. And by the time I got home,
house?
Yeah, by the time I got home, I was texting him secretly in the car when we were driving home. Kelsey was driving as well, and she was driving. I was sitting down, and I told people, mate, we're 20 minutes away. Oh, we're 10 minutes away. And I text him, and I told him to, when we got home, I'll honk the horn. I'll tell Kelsey to honk it, and then he can come out and say, I don't know, make something up to Kelsey. Well, I'll quickly run inside, say I've got to go to the toilet or something, and I ran in. And there, Kelsey come in, and I was there. Big love heart saying, will you marry me? And she agreed. So I'm very happy. I'm a very lucky man.
Are there tears afterwards?
Oh, there was. There was a bit of, not from me because I'm tough.
Yeah,
tough.
exactly. That's right.
But no, I'm very, very happy and very lucky to have someone like Kelsey. She's very strong-minded, and I'm very truly lucky to have her. I love her.
There you go. You spoke about your dogs, Griffin Luna. Am I right?
Yep.
I was on Instagram the other day, and I run social media here at Collingwood, me and another guy, Luke.
Yeah.
And we get a few likes coming in.
Yep.
Your dogs.
Yep.
Have got more followers on Instagram than my own personal account. And I saw that, and I thought, geez, what is going on here?
Well, originally, when it first started, it started as Griffin originally, because we only recently got Luna a couple of months ago, and we've had Griffin for 3 years. But Kelsey tossed up the idea of creating an Instagram account about Griffin, and I was like, the boys are going to hang crap on me. I don't think I want my dog on Instagram. And Kelsey said, no, it'll be a good idea. And you probably wouldn't know this, but it turned out that it was such a good idea that the past Christmas, so last year, Griffin did a modelling shoot for the Reject Shop, and he was in the Reject Shop calendar.
Really?
So all off Instagram. So
bit of cash
there you go.
That?
No, there was no cash. It was all off the love.
Reject Shop.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I know. So now Luna's on board, and I think it's a good decision. So did you see how many followers they have?
Yeah, it was 500 or 600 when I looked at it.
That's great.
And it was double.
That's great.
My account.
That's great.
So I need to leave. That was poor. Now, we've talked about romance, we've talked about animals. We haven't even touched sport yet.
No, we haven't.
And you're talking about how tough you are. We need to get stuck into the sport. Let's have a look back at last week. We gave away our first Subway Player of the Week to Bruno Fornarelli from the Melbourne City Football Club. He is a star.
Yep.
You and Mark both jumped on the bandwagon as well of the City.
Well,
tell us a bit about that. You were on.
Yeah, well, I was on. I was honest. I didn't really know too much about what was going on in the A-League, but I know Mark's a big fan of the A-League, and we had a little brief chat about it, and he told me about, obviously, the Subway Player of the Week, Bruno, and I've seen the goals, and phenomenal. And I basically said, well, I'm a Melbourne City man now. I'm jumping on the bandwagon, and yeah, it was disappointing. They lost on the weekend, though.
It was disappointing.
But they got another fan in me, so good on them.
Well, there you go. Now, Melbourne City, the good people at Melbourne City.
Yep, the great people.
I think a lot of people are listening to this podcast because Melbourne City got in touch with us during the week. Rocked up to work this morning. There was this little something just sitting on my desk when I got there.
Oh, what do we have here?
Now, that's got Adam Treloar written on it. I wasn't allowed to touch it.
Melbourne City Football Club.
So open that one up and see what's going on here.
You're kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me.
This is what happens when you're an absolute star athlete.
Jersey, hey? Can you see that? There it is. Well, I might have to switch codes and give it a go. Well, thanks, Melbourne City. I really do appreciate that, and maybe I might send you a jersey. So hopefully, if they're listening, I'll get that for them. I'll get it for them.
Well, you got Kobe on today. Do you swap Kobe out? Send that over.
Yeah.
And put Melbourne City on.
Yeah, I'll do that. Next show, actually, I'm saying it. Next show that we have, I'll have that Melbourne City jersey on.
Done. Deal. And I'm sure they'll be very happy with that. Thank you very much to Melbourne City for sending that one across.
Thank you.
I'm sure the boys will be there supporting next year when they get started again. Now, we talked about what you've got on right now, your Kobe Bryant jersey.
Yes, I do. Kobe.
I believe you've got one to add to the collection now.
I do.
You've got a very big collection of basketball
jerseys. Yes, I've got... how many do I have? I've got about 110 now. 110. So it started way back... 110. It started way back in 2011, my first season in the AFL. Well, I was in the NEFL at the time when I was 17, and I thought, you know what? I want to collect something here because... I was bored outside of footy. I was playing footy. I'd go home and play the Xbox. I thought, you know what? I'm going to collect something here. So I jumped on board Oklahoma. Oklahoma City was my team. Kevin Durant was my favourite player, as everyone knows. Jumped on board and I thought, you know what? I'm going to start collecting jerseys. 2016, 5 years later, I'm at 110 and I'm still going. I'm going very strong. I usually buy in bulk. So I buy 5-6 jerseys a month and then keep going from there.
Is there a goal target?
Oh, mate, just keep going. Well, it's stalled for a little bit because I ran out of a little bit of money because I was spending too much on it. So I'd stop for a year. I'd get some maybe once every 3 months, but now I'm back to a good routine where I get it at least 6 per month. So, I've got my favourites in a section and everything else is just hanging there.
Okay, so it's all set out, everything?
Oh, it's all set out. It's in alphabetical order.
Yep.
But when it gets to that particular team, my favourite jersey's at the front. So, for instance, I've got... Because I love Jordan and Kevin Durant, as again everyone knows. Jordan, I've got about 10 Jordans and 10 Durants.
Yep.
So my favourite Jordan jersey will be at the front of the Chicago list, and my favourite Durant jersey will be at the front of the Oklahoma.
What have you got, Jordan? Is it that black one? Black one with the red, I reckon.
I've got the red, I've got the alternative, I've got the Space Jam Toon Squad, I've got a grey one. Mate, I don't even remember. I've got heaps and heaps. And the Oklahoma ones. I've got plenty of alternative ones for that. But I just love collecting jerseys. What I love doing is collecting unique jerseys where, I'll be walking down the street. Like this Kobe one, for instance, like people wouldn't have this. So
No, I've never seen it before today.
So I'll be walking down the street and they'll be like, oh, look at that jersey over there. How cool's that? So that's my mindset when I collect jerseys. Yeah. And who's hot at the moment, who's very hot. So like, for instance, a couple of years ago when Michael Carter-Williams won Rookie of the Year, I jumped straight on and I bought a Michael Carter-Williams jersey. I even bought, you wouldn't even believe it, but I bought the Andrew Wiggins #1 draft pick Cleveland Cavaliers jerseys, but that night he got traded to
Andrew
Minnesota
Wiggins
Timberwolves.
wouldn't even have that jersey.
No, he wouldn't even have that jersey. So I've got an Andrew Wiggins Cleveland Cavaliers jersey. So there you go.
Which one's next? Have you got anything in mind?
No, well, usually I go online and pick the 6 out, and Kelsey sometimes has an input on it because she doesn't want me getting ugly jerseys. Nothing's ugly. But yeah, we usually get a list and then we'll tick them off. And so there's nothing really in mind, maybe a couple alternative ones, but hopefully Oklahoma can win the championship this year and I can get an Oklahoma championship jersey. So that's the plan.
No barley specials in there. I know you can get those $3 jerseys from overseas.
You can tell it's a barley jersey just by looking at it. And I don't want a barley jersey.
My brother was in Bali not long ago. He brought me back. It was a Ricky Rubio T-Wolves jersey.
Oh, that would have been the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
It was disgusting. The blue was completely wrong. It was the wrong colour blue. So
that's hilarious.
I gave that one back, gave him a refund of his $3 and just moved on with my life. There's plenty of athletes that collect jerseys and all sorts of things, and that's what we wanted to talk about today, because there's a few real quirky collections out there. Well, I've pulled a few out looking through during the week, and Josh Childress is a bloke that I believe you know. You've met him a couple of times.
Josh Childress, yep.
He's got 800 pairs of shoes, all in his size, and he reckons he's worn all of them.
Yep, yeah, the
that
NBA
is
star. I know. When I was at the Giants, I did a couple of appearances with him. He came into the footy club, and when we got talking about his collections, because he was amazed by my I was sort of showboating about my jersey collection.
Sure you would,
at the time, I was at about 80.
How to win over an NBA player.
I know. And at the time, I was about 80, and so I was showboating, and then he pulls out I've got about 800 shoes, and have you ever seen a dog, like, when they get told off, they cower? That was me. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
And he played in the NBA for a number of years, obviously. Crossed over to the Sydney Kings in the NBL. Apparently one of his big concerns when he signed with the Kings was, how am I going to get my shoes over?
Oh, mate. Well, generally what happens is they come around, they play in the NBL for maybe a couple of years, and then they go back to America. So, I don't know, I don't think he'll be... Well, he is a star of the NBL, but I think being an American guy, he's probably eventually want to go back to America. So there's no point, really, because you'll bring him over, be here for a couple of years, and then probably go back. So from what I believe, actually, speaking to him again, and he's an absolute star. He loves his dog like me, and he wanted his dog to come over. So that's a complete another story. But why wouldn't you? If I was in a different country, I'd definitely want to take my dogs with me.
If you take them all,
absolutely.
You need to get the Instagram going.
I'd probably take Griffin and Luna. Actually, I won't say that.
You were going to throw one under the bus.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Kelsey's not going to be happy.
No, I love my girl. She's my girl, my fiancée.
No, very good. We mentioned just off the top then that he left some of his shoes in America. Imagine if while he was in America, they're gone. Because it's happened before. There's a guy, Reggie Jackson, he's in the MLB Hall of Fame, baseballer over there. He collected cars, and apparently he had over 100 cars. He had them all in a garage, and the garage burnt down.
Wow.
He lost about 30 of his cars. It would have been worth millions and millions of dollars.
See, if that was me, I would be shattered. Oh, wow, just seeing that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'd be shattered losing my jerseys, and that would be probably maybe anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500. And he'd be losing cars worth millions.
I know.
Oh, mate, you wouldn't be seeing me for a while. I'd be in my bedroom crying my eyes out probably. And that's just me and my jerseys.
I know. It's unbelievable. I don't understand. I don't know about you. I don't understand the obsession with cars. Because athletes and cars go hand in hand. Last week you thought you didn't even know what F1s were. You were confusing them with bikes.
I don't remember who it was. I thought the great Michael Schumacher was still racing, but turns out he's not still racing. So
no, we're looking after him at the moment.
Exactly. I had no idea what was going on. So Mark Webber, I thought he was still racing.
First of all, you thought he was riding motorbikes.
Mark Webber, yeah.
Cars and athletes, I don't understand it.
No, neither do I.
I'm sure there's a few guys at the club who do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm not interested in cars. So
you don't care
if someone ever brought up cars, I'd be like, Okay, cool. Did you see the score of the basketball the other day? Like, I just don't give a stuff about cars.
Stick around with Pendles. And
although I
all the
do see
basketball guys.
Sidey and the likes of Pendles and Brownie driving around some fancy, cool Holdens. So I'd like to know what they think about it. But
You might have to get
I don't
involved
know.
in
I might have to.
I know the Trav also. He was
the
an ambassador for the MotoGP last year.
Both Travs.
So.
Trav. Oh, I'm talking about Holden. What are you on about?
Now we're talking about bikes.
Oh, no idea.
Let's move on from
Don't
cars.
care,
We're not
mate.
doing very well with this one.
We're talking about cars.
We'll move on to two wheels. Subway Sportsman of the Week. Now, this went well last week. We gave it out. We got you a top out of it.
Hopefully we can get another one.
No pressure. No pressure to the man who's about to receive this. Because he's an absolute legend of the cycling world. His name's Michael Rogers, and he's just retired in the last couple of days. Let's read some stats. 16 years riding.
Wow.
3 consecutive world championships, 2003, 2004, 2005. He won a stage in the Tour de France in 2014. Olympic bronze medal, and is on number 11 in the list of Australia's best road races. Now, he's got a heart condition, so it's caused him to pull up stumps on his career. But that's pretty phenomenal in such a tough sport.
Yeah, mate, I've said it, and one of my mates is loves his bike riding. He always rides along that beach road, and I couldn't think of anything more boring to do. But he loves his Tour de France, and even me, not being as a wheel guy like who likes cars or anything, I love watching the Tour de France, and I've always
it's the tactics, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. And I've always said that I think AFL is the hardest team sport to play in the world because of you got to do everything. You got to be fast, run all day, and I think everyone can agree with that. But in terms of any sport to getting yourself up for, I think the Tour de France is the hardest thing to train for. It's just phenomenal what the guys do. Like,
unbelievable.
I'm an amateur in terms of knowing. Exactly. Isn't it like 30 days? Is it 30 days? How many days do they ride?
Time. It's the best part of a month.
And they ride like 30 Ks uphill, like every day. I just couldn't think. It's just phenomenal what they can do. And this guy, the list of his accolades and everything he's done, what an absolute champion.
Yeah, it's an
You've
incredible
got to look after your
achievement.
well-being first.
It is an incredible achievement.
Exactly.
So congratulations to him on a fantastic career. Now, the bikes, before you got to the club, it would have only been a couple of weeks before, all of the first to 5 year players went to Falls Creek. There was a lot of bike riding involved.
Yeah.
We went up as a media team to get around the boys up there. There were some blokes, Brody Grundy absolutely loved it. And there were a few boys that absolutely hated it.
Tim Golds
Could be one of them. I think Braden Mano could have been another
another
one. Where do you sit in that? I know you weren't there, but if you were riding up those hills at Falls Creek,
well, I've heard I was lucky. I was off boxing with Pebs and a couple of the rehab boys. But
you were here at the time?
I was here.
Okay.
I was here. So I did do that down at Falls Creek. And guys said that it was the hardest thing they've ever done. And I've done... So back to Tim Golds. Tim Golds obviously been at the Giants with me. We've done the Cronulla Sand Dunes. I don't know if you've ever been
Heard
to Cronulla.
of it, haven't been there.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's literally sand dune, 100 metres
You're riding
up.
on sand
No, you're running up.
Okay,
so you're running up.
Now that'd be tough for you riding up sand.
Yeah, I know. So put it this way. This is obviously being a Sydney state, I mean, a rugby state in Sydney, we'd see like the Parramatta Eels and the Cronulla Sharks there going up in sand dunes. And these are big guys, and they're walking at them. They can barely walk up it.
Yeah.
While we're the lunatics, and we're running up it. So that was the hardest thing I've ever done. Back to what I was saying, and Goldsy done that as well. So I basically
Goldsy's a gun runner.
Yeah, and I basically said to Goldsy, look, compare it to the sand dunes. How hard was that bike ride that you had to do up that hill at Falls Creek compared to sand dunes?
Yeah.
And he said, mate, beyond the sand dunes, hardest thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
So thank God I didn't have to do it. And I don't have to do it next year because it's the first 4 years and I'm a fifth year next year. So I don't have to worry about that. But
you're done with it.
I heard it was pretty tough.
That's lucky. It's lucky you got out of that one because I think there are a few boys struggling after that. Now, a segment that I love, and I normally sit away from the camera and I love watching it, mainly because it's, like, obviously, I'm the producer of the show, so I created this segment. Yes. Do you like it? Are we going to keep it going?
I do love it. Yeah, I do love it, mate.
Fantastic. Let's get stuck into it. You wouldn't believe it.
You fire away.
We've both got a story. You want me to go first?
You go first,
All
mate.
right. Ads, you wouldn't believe it. We were talking about collections. Now, Floyd Money Mayweather, you know who that is. Obviously one of the most famous boxers of all time. He's a big car man as well.
Yep.
Now, he's got millions and millions of dollars worth of cars. 2015, he beat Manny Pacquiao. The first thing he did was went out and spent $4.8 million on a car that there's only two of in the world.
Do I believe it?
Do you believe that he got one of the two in the whole world?
I 100% fully believe that.
Yeah, because
I follow his Instagram page and his Facebook and all his social media, and the bloke posts photos of cars and how much money and sleeping in money and
it's unbelievable.
Putting $1 million bets on. So I fully believe that.
Man, that'll be us when this podcast
Oh,
ends.
I hope so.
That'll be
might
us.
have to retire if I can make a life out of this. So,
Well, it's true. So you're right.
It is true.
You got it. After your
there you
terrible
go.
performance last week,
Yeah.
Ben Cousins, we got you. We got you good.
How did I even fall for that? I should have known that. All right, mate. Well, I've got a good one for you.
All right, hit me with it.
Mate, you wouldn't believe it, but tennis player Novak Djokovic, absolute star,
Start again.
once bought the world's supply of certain type of goat's cheese called
Goat's cheese.
Pule. Never heard of it, but it's called Pule. Pule. The cheese
The world supply.
Yeah. So, you got to listen to it. So these cheese costs $3,000 a pound, and in 2012, he bought all of it. He bought all of it available in the world.
No.
Is it false?
Big cross goes through.
It's false.
Not true?
It's false. It's not true.
So how do you make that up?
Well,
Because that is a bizarre story to make up.
well, there was rumours that it was happening, and then he come out and said that it wasn't true. So he basically shut it down. So it's false.
Pule.
It's false.
Goat's cheese.
Never heard of it. I wouldn't even eat it because I'm not a big fan of cheese, and the only cheese I like is the one you get at the coal section. You know them little square. You used to get them when they were kids, and they're tiny little square things. You used to eat them.
Yeah.
The cheese that has blue stuff on it and looks mouldy, not
Don't
me.
touch it.
Not
I know
me.
you and I were talking before the show about being similar ages growing up in the 90s.
Yep.
I used to love those stringers. Do you remember them?
Oh, stringers,
You got the-
yeah. I
Oh.
never stringed them though. I just ate them.
What?
That's
That's half the fun.
Nah.
We might have to
No, that
have
was
a
me.
chat about
We may
getting some
have to.
stringers
Yeah,
around
we
the
may
Holland
have
Centre
to.
here. Now, there's plenty going on in the world of sport. There's plenty going on in footy, but we've talked about that already.
My favourite thing.
Do we care about some of these news items? Now,
can't
as the
wait.
producer of this show, you kill me every week because you care about absolutely everything.
I am. I'm a passionate man. I
Well,
care about a lot. All right, I'll give you honesty. I
want honesty.
100% honest, okay?
Because I tried
No
to
more
find some
Mr.
things
Nice
that
Guy.
you wouldn't care about.
All right.
We'll let you start easy.
All right.
Because if
start
you
us
say
off.
no to this, I know you're lying.
Start us off.
NBA, Oklahoma
What do you
City
think?
Thunder.
What do you think?
Jim, we need to continue.
We do need to
right,
continue
let's
because
talk
I want to
about it.
hear what you have to say.
Kevin Durant, your boy Kevin Durant,
My man,
called out the Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, called him an idiot.
he is an idiot.
The reason, you do care.
Yes.
The reason he said that is because Cuban said that Durant was the only star player on
Idiot.
the team.
Idiot.
Russell Westbrook was sitting right next to KD. He said, nah,
Idiot.
that bloke's an idiot.
Idiot.
Do you care? Or do
course I
you
care.
want the Thunder to focus on winning games of basketball?
I care. Mark Cuban's an idiot. And,
He watches this show.
well, you're an idiot, Mark Cuban. And I just want them to focus on winning. And you know what? They took care of it. They won 4-1. Mark
did.
Cuban's just having a sook because he's the owner of the team, which is fair enough because I'd probably have a sook if Oklahoma lost. So they won. I don't care.
I reckon Mark Cuban's got enough money to
Yeah,
just
exactly.
deal with that
Exactly.
and move on. We'll stay on basketball because OKC
Of course
are
I
through.
care.
You
Yep.
do care?
I care.
All right. OKC are through. The Cavs are through. There's a few others that are through.
Yep.
But the teams that are left,
Yeah.
dropping like
I know,
flies.
I
There's
know.
injuries everywhere.
I know.
Steph Curry's out.
Yep.
The LA Clippers have lost Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
Very interesting.
care about this?
Absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit about it because people know me, and I think people are starting to learn that I'm not a big fan of Golden State Warriors.
not.
And like I respect them as a team, and I know they're an absolute star. Their team's phenomenal, and they're going to be one of the greatest teams to ever play the game. Except I hope they lose. Anyway, back to that. Steph Curry's out for 2 weeks because he hurt his knee. I'm pretty sure he strained the inside of his knee. So
Well, left the game, didn't
my
come back.
thought process is Steph Curry's gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Houston Rockets are down 3-1, but James Harden, if he can go off and score 50 points every game from now, they're going to come back and win 4-3.
You reckon they're going to win?
Yep. And
Does Harden have it in him though? Does he have
yeah,
enough help?
he does. No, he gets ridden about his defense, which
He
his,
does. And
his
how funny are those
His
videos?
defense isn't the best, it's fair to say, but offensively he's as good as anyone. Not as good as Durant, but offensively he's as good as everyone. But then to the other side, Clippers, where Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, they're out for the playoffs. They're the best players. Chris Paul might come back, but they're playing to Portland now, who are 2-2 in the series, and
good
I
side.
think Portland will beat them. But back to what I was going to say, if Portland win, that means they face Golden State in 2. So Curry's out for 2 weeks still.
Yeah.
Portland will get a chance at Golden State without Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Damian Lillard will
couple
go
of
off
games.
and score 50 points a game.
Yeah, gun point
So
guard.
I'm just hoping and not praying because I never wish injury upon anyone. But I'm just hoping.
Careful.
I'm just hoping Golden State lose. Whether they have Curry in there or not, I just hope they lose. It'd be good. I hope Curry does come back in time to play, which I'm sure he will.
Yeah,
But
you want to see the best
exactly.
players out
I
there.
want to see the best players out there, but I just hope they lose.
There's still plenty of playoff action. How do you
Exactly.
watch it? Because I know a lot of time the games are on here
When we're
and
here,
while you're
so
training.
I don't really get a chance because obviously, and I'm not like Pendles and Caf. They love watching the game.
they love it.
They love watching it. So they will record it and then go home and watch it. Where I'm more like, I want to see the results live.
Okay, so you want the scores.
I'll just constantly be on my phone looking at the game like that. And if it's an Oklahoma game and I absolutely, and they win, I have to watch it. So I'll see live, but then I'll go home and watch the game. So, for instance, last week when the regular season was done, Kobe Bryant, the great man, I was following the score live because we were training at the club.
Yeah,
but
and we were in here while the game was going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I went home and watched the game fully. So, I prefer finding live. So, hopefully I can find out live when Golden State lose.
We'll see how he goes. Well, I know no one will know this, but our media office here at the Holden Centre backs onto the gym where you guys are out training.
Yeah.
We've got big glass, and there's a TV screen just pointing towards
there.
all you guys.
Yeah.
The basketball guys here absolutely hate it, and we have to turn the TV off.
I know.
So we don't get to watch it either.
So we're in the gym, and then I think Stumpy and Paulie, the guys, they'll turn around and they'll see half the guys just standing there looking at the TV, and we're like, what? It's your fault for leaving the TV here. So that's what you get when the greatest sport's on.
No, the media department just gets left behind in all this football. It's unbelievable. Well, let's get back into this because we're going off topic.
Oh, here we are.
Oh, we're going to go off topic again. Your boy, The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
He's back in the news.
Man,
Did you hear about this one?
the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, The Rock.
There you go. He has agreed
I've not heard this.
to join the New Zealand Rugby Sevens team.
Is that legit?
Well,
if that's legit, I'll fly over there and watch him.
Well, that's what he said he'll do. Sonny Bill Williams obviously is a gun rugby player.
Star
he called him out
boxer.
and said, Rock, we've got a heap of injuries. This is on Twitter. We've got a heap of injuries.
We
Come
need you
over
to
and play for us.
And what did he say?
Rock replied saying, I'll come running whenever you need me.
Have you seen the size of The Rock?
The Rock's a
He
massive
would
man.
be able to well and truly pull his weight.
Got the speed though, do you reckon?
Of course he does, mate. Don't ever doubt The Rock. Like I said, he's the
All
most
right.
electrifying man in sports entertainment. He would dominate.
Well, you could see him representing the Kiwis in the Olympics. I reckon he said he lived in New Zealand.
Yeah, he lived in New Zealand for a little bit. Now I do know that, mate. Don't worry about that.
And then he lived back in Hawaii.
So I do care about that one.
It's a big one.
Absolutely.
Still on rugby, the Kangaroos are playing New Zealand.
Mate, you're giving some great ones. I care about all this.
Well,
I care about all this.
I believe you as well at the moment. So let's see if we can stump you here. Kangaroos taking on New Zealand. We're talking rugby league now. They've just named their squad for the first test.
Yeah.
Do you care? We
got
him.
We got
him.
I don't know
we got him.
who's in the team, but I do care because it's Australia, New Zealand. No, it's Australia versus New Zealand. And I always care when stakes are on the line because it's basically that's a Collingwood versus a Carlton or a Collingwood versus an Essendon.
Yeah, okay.
Australia versus New Zealand. I'm as patriotic as ever. I'm an Australian. I'm proud to be an Australian, and I want them to win. But I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who's in the team.
I'm going to take that as a no care.
I do care, but I don't care who's in the team.
Hypothetical one for you, just off the top of my head.
Okay.
The Rock plays for New Zealand against the Aussies. Who are you going for?
Well, I'm going to have to start to learn the New Zealand national anthem because I think I'd be going for... No, I'd want The Rock to dominate, but I want Australia to win.
All right, fair enough. My
stepdad's a Kiwi, by the way. So
you got a bit of a connection.
So I've got a bit of connection because my younger brother and sister, who... This is off topic again, but my younger brother and sister are his children.
Yep.
So... And he's been with my mum for about 20 years.
Yeah, okay.
So... I've got a little bit of Kiwi in me.
Yeah, and you travelled in New Zealand a fair bit, didn't you?
Yeah. And so his family still lives over in New Zealand. Yeah. So his whole extended family. So this past off-season, we went over to New Zealand. Actually, on the weekend, his niece and her husband, they stayed at our house to watch their first AFL game live.
Really?
It was Anzac Day. So
there you go.
I've got a little bit of Kiwi in me.
You were in New Zealand when we signed you up.
Yeah, exactly.
And we released your video.
I was driving around Rotorua, which is a great small town in New Zealand. And there you go.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
A-League semi-final, we're Melbourne City fans at Sports Galore. They lost, unfortunately.
Yep.
The other game, the second semi-final, the Western Sydney Wanderers played against the Brisbane Roar.
Yep.
5-4 they won. Unbelievable. They were losing 3-0 at half-time. It's the most goals ever scored.
I did see that.
In an A-League final.
Well,
Do you care?
I don't care because Melbourne City aren't in it, so I don't care on that side. But I do care about the game because you know why? Being an avid Xbox player, I do play FIFA a lot.
Yeah, everyone.
And... I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the guy who kicked 3 goals, do you know, for the Wanderers, he's the guy who kicked the 3 goals. It's like
I couldn't tell you, but
Castellano or something. He's a star. Anyway, back to what I was going to say. He was on my FIFA team, and when I used to play with the Wanderers, and I would dominate with him. I used to wonder who is this guy, and then. After the game, went home, was watching a bit of sports on the TV, and it turns out this guy who had my FIFA team had kicked 3 absolute ripping goals. So there you go. I do care on that side of things, but I don't care because Melbourne City aren't in it.
Exactly right. Don't care. 2 don't care. I'm doing well here. Conor McGregor, UFC, retired over Twitter. Came back almost a couple of days later and said, "No, I'm back. Bring me in, boys."
Yeah, controversial.
What's going on,
mate? You know what? I just don't care because I just don't. He's just not.
It's because it's too much. Yeah.
Conor McGregor's not me. We are just completely different people. So too much. Like, it's controversial. I just don't care.
Tennis again. Rafael Nadal.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
Well, he might have been eating a bit of Novak's goat's cheese because he's suing a French politician, and maybe it's fair.
What for?
He's suing a French politician for defamation. The politician said you failed a drug test at some stage along the line. Rafa is saying that didn't happen, and I'm not happy with that. I'm going to sue you for it.
Well, I do care.
Do you care about that? Do you care about the politics that go on outside
I couldn't
sport?
give a stuff.
Well, there you go.
Couldn't give a stuff. I care about Rafa because he's a gentleman, an absolute star of the game.
Yeah.
And he's one of the nicest guys from all reports on tour. Everyone always talks about the nice guys, and they say he's one of the nicest guys in the world, and I wish nothing but the best for the nice people. So I don't care about all the politics, but I care about Rafa.
All right, there you go. We'll give that one a 50-50.
Exactly.
Last one. Let's wrap this up. It's 100 days until the Olympics.
Oh, I love
Rio.
the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Do you care about the Olympics that aren't until 2020?
Oh, no.
So it's a long way away.
No.
They've just had to change their logo because the original was accused of being plagiarism.
Oh, wow.
Do you care about that?
No, of course I don't.
Mate, you don't see what goes on. I spend hours and hours just trolling through.
I care about the Olympics. You know why? Because back onto my favourite sport, basketball, I think this is the year the Boomers... Oh, well, I don't think the American team's going to lose, but I think they could shock people and really go silver or gold.
Okay.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. They're eschewing to finish top three, either obviously bronze, silver, or gold. But I'm backing the boys, and I'm backing Matty Dellavedova, Paddy Mills, all the guys to get them over the line. So I'm calling it early. We're going to get there, and we're going to either win a silver or a gold.
No Ben Simmons. He's out.
I know. What a shame. But because obviously has been.
Do you understand?
Oh, absolutely.
His decision. There?
Absolutely. And Dante. Hopefully Dante's back.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for the Olympics.
Can't wait. We've got a little while to wait. 100 days to
I
wait.
know.
We'll do a few more episodes between now and then. And maybe we can get a few Olympians in here. We'll see how we go.
Maybe I can sneak a couple Boomers jerseys if I give them a shout out.
See what you can do. All right, we're done.
We are done.
Well done.
Beauty.
We're all wrapped up for the week. I'll be out of this chair next week. You won't ever have to put up with me again.
You're very good, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hopefully those Instagram followers go up
Beauty.
a bit there. Good luck with everything in the next week. See you next week. Well
Cheers.
done.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks to our friends at Subway, this has been another episode of Sports Galore. If you've got feedback on the show, or you have a topic you'd like the guys to talk about, use the club's official social channels to let us know. Go Pies.